Hey YouTubers, this is MB Cash. It's been a while, but I'm back. And for my first video of 2018, I thought I'd show you guys this bad boy, my custom Friday the 13th Part 3 Jason Voorhees mask. Now, a couple of months ago, I did a video of a blank hockey mask that I had ordered on eBay, and I explained to you guys that I was going to be turning that blank into a Part 3 mask, and this is it right here. Looks a lot different than when I first got it in the mail, because when I ordered it, it was just a blank white mask. Now you can see here, it's a more detailed hockey mask that is true, or at least I try to be true, to Friday the 13th Part 3. And this was a very fun project. Like I said in my original video, this is going to be a first for me. I never attempted anything like this before. So it was a really, really neat experience just getting to work with something I've never done before, such as, like customizing and painting a mask. And I had watched a lot of videos mainly from Big Hush over on YouTube for inspiration, and all the countless hours and days worth of just watching his videos really paid off. So without further ado, let me show you the mask. So this is it right here. So yeah, it's really hard to tell. In fact, if you hadn't seen my first video, you probably would not have even known that this used to be a blank. You'd probably think that I bought this mask like this, but nope. This was a blank that I did myself. All the weathering, the damages, all that, and it's really nice. I'm very proud of the work I did. I don't mean to brag, but it's just really cool. Let me see if there it goes. Look at the detail, all the scratches and the weathering. This is so cool. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. So, if you guys want to know what I actually did, I'll go ahead and tell you. So, my first step was to take the straps off, and luckily they are removable. I'll go ahead and just take this one off. See, they're just button-on snaps. There we go. So, first I had to take the straps off, and then I sanded the whole mask with some 60 grit sandpaper. That does two things. Number one, it gets rid of the shiny gloss, because the blank comes really shiny. In fact, I decided to order a second one that I'm just going to leave alone. I'm not going to paint it or customize it or anything, but I'll go ahead and bring it out here just so you can see. So this is the same exact blank that I used to make this guy. So you notice how shiny this one is. So sanding it off will get rid of the shine. It will also give it a rough surface. That will help the paint adhere to the mask easy, and it also just gives it a nice rough texture, because Jason's masks are not exactly pristine. They've been through the ringer, so having a rough surface will just help bring that texture out and just help with that, achieve that look. Once I finished sanding the blank, I then gave it one coat of Krylon gray primer, front and back. Once the primer was all finished drying, then I went and gave it my color coat. And with this one, I decided to go with a Krylon satin ivory. I know the Part 3 mask had a bit of a more yellowish, kind of like a buttercream color, but I decided to go with ivory because just a personal preference, and it still looks nice. So just one coat of satin ivory, and once that was dry, I added the chevrons, and the chevrons are just decals that I had made at a design shop in town. So they came out really nice. For this chevron right here, as you can see, there's a split. I decided to split it just by using an X-Acto knife. Now the funny thing is, it was just a thin slit, but I guess somehow gravity took over and the gap got just a little bigger, but it's okay. It gives it a more damaged look, which is the look I was going for. And that brings on to the next step, and that was all the damages and wear and weathering. So after I applied the chevrons, I proceeded to do all the weathering and all the scuff marks. Now for the scuff marks, what I just did was I just took some sandpaper, just a really small piece of sandpaper, and just started to sand away at the areas that I wanted and damage. So you can just, like, for instance, right here over on the side, near the eyes, the nose. Now this will actually allow you to sand off the paint until you hit the primer, which is gray, of course. That explains why it has that gray color. But for the nose, I decided to sand it beyond the primer to where I would reach the white plastic of the mask, because that's how it was in the film. This damage here in the nose was white, and that was, I believe that was the color. It was, because I know the clear. It was clear. The mask, the vacuum form mask used to make the actual prop mask in Friday the 13th Part 3 was actually clear plastic. So I assume they must have painted it over with some white and then, of course, proceeded to go on with the more yellow color, but you get the point. And for thinner scratches, such as these, I just took an X-Acto knife and just scraped away at it. And then for the weathering, I mixed up some black and brown acrylic paint and dipped my fingers in some water, then dipped my wet fingers onto the paint and just proceeded to just tap it like so on areas that I wanted some weathering. And then with the dry like rag, I just dabbed it in. That removes the fingerprints and also spreads the weathering job just to make it look more natural. So once all the weathering and all the scuff marks was done, I then gave it a couple of coats of Krylon Clear Gloss. I gave it 3 coats and came out just fine. That just seals everything and protects all like the work you did with the paints and everything. So once the Krylon Clear coat, all the coats were finished, then just put the straps back on and you have yourself a completed mask. So those were all the steps I took to achieve this, and again, I'm very happy with the end results. For my first time, I think I did a great job. And now I know I said in my first video when this was just a blank that I was planning on wearing this to San Diego Comic-Con this upcoming summer. But I had a change of heart because I decided to, because I know I said in my first video that I wasn't going to really go all out. I was just going to wear a mask and just some clothing. But as I was working on this mask, I started to have some second thoughts on the cosplay. So I decided that I am going to go for a full-on Jason Voorhees cosplay at SDCC 2018. I'm going to go for my own interpretation of the character, so I'm not going to go for any particular look from any of the films. So I'm just going to put together my own outfit because, again, it's my own take on the character. So instead of wearing this mask, I'm going to do another one. And instead of using a blank such as this one here, I decided to purchase a blank from jdfstudios.com. I went with a remake hockey mask blank, and I'm going to use that to make my own mask for the cosplay. And even though I did purchase a remake blank, I'm not going to go for a remake look. Again, I'm going for my own interpretation of the character, so I'm going to do my own paint job. I'm going to do it however I want to do it. So that should be a fun project. I can't wait to start on that. But just because I changed my mind about the cosplay doesn't mean that this mask right here was for nothing. It was a really fun project, and it just showed that I could do it. So now I'm more confident doing other masks in the future. I told my brother that I would do a mask for him, and if any friends want me to do a mask for them, I'd be more than happy to. So this is a very neat project. I'm glad I was able to get it to the way I wanted it, and very happy with the end results. Now, if you guys want to actually see my progress for yourselves, you guys could go to my Instagram. On my Instagram, I have a highlighted story on the Jason mask, because you can highlight your stories. So if you go to my Instagram profile, you can check it out. I'll provide a link in the description below to my Instagram, and if you guys want to follow me, go ahead and do that. You can follow me at NB_cash. That's NB_CASH. And you'll be able to see my highlighted Instagram story there on how I was able to make this Jason mask. So that's it for this video. I'm glad I was able to show you guys my finished mask. And until next time, guys, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And again, check out my Instagram. That's NB_cash. See you all next time. God bless.